Welcome to this short video on actions within 3iVerify. Actions are a generic term to cover corrective actions, preventive actions, customer complaints, and any other kind of action that you require to go through a process of rectification or investigation and so on. The action module can be accessed from the action icon on the home screen, and the number in the top right of the action icon tells me the number of outstanding actions that my user must do something about. Click on the action icon. This will load up the action list. At the top we have the search area, which will default to the logged in user's default site, and you can change to any other site that you have privileges for. You can search by title, the owner of the action, or the assigned user of the action and its status. Clicking on Advanced Search gives us additional options to search by priority, action type, the affected item, and the uncompleted status, or to look at deleted or inactive actions. To add an action, we want to quickly log the basic details of anything which is brought to our attention. This might be glass found in product, for example. So we simply enter the action title and select the type of action, and then enter the details of the action in the action detail box. At this stage, we want to select an owner and an assigned user. So the owner is the person with ultimate responsibility for the action, and the assigned user is the person who is going to be managing or doing the work on the action. The owner and the assigned user can be the same person. Beneath this, we want to select the action source and the priority and the action due date. Action due date is used to tell us if the action is overdue and also to run escalations, which I'll explain more about in a moment. Simply add the action, and the action is now logged in the system. And here we can see this number here, 1042, glass found in product. And I know this is the action I'm interested in because there is no affected or affected item set here. An email alert will have been sent to Andy Kerridge, who is the assigned user for this action. To open the action, click on the Edit button, and now we can edit the details of the action. Notice that the reference number has been set automatically and is read-only, and also that you can add followers. These are other people whom you want to receive alerts when something changes on this action. We can also set auto escalation. So if this is a critical issue, we may want to email people on an escalation chain if things are not completed on time. So for example, if the action has been open for 4 days or 5 days and nothing has changed, then emails might be sent to escalation level 1. And after 10 days, emails might be sent to different users, more senior perhaps, on escalation level 2, and so on. Underneath the action details, we have the action tracking, which we've already set. And this is where we're going to eventually set the status to closed, and the completed date and status will be set when we do that. Underneath this is the action tracking area. This is where it's important to identify what is affected by the action. So in this case, it's going to be a customer, and it may be one of the retail customers, for example. We've already set this as a customer complaint. Beneath this area is where all of the real work of the action takes place. One of the first things we might want to do is to do a risk assessment. So for example, if we do a food safety risk assessment on this particular action, this will give us a risk rating. We can set our confidence and volatility on the risk assessment. So volatility really is about how often the risk might change, and this will be dependent upon the environmental circumstances, the inherent risk, and so on. So the justification for the risk assessment goes in this box here, and you'll notice that a management action has already been selected based on that risk rating. So this is a predefined management action for this particular risk matrix, which can be set up in the admin section. So we can carry out multiple risk assessments, for example, brand reputation, and again, confidence, volatility, and justification. And you can see how we can build up a risk profile for this particular action. One of the other things we might do is raise tasks. So we click on the task module, and here we can put in a task. For example, we might want to carry out an investigation. So we put the subject in, the type of task, and again you can add task types here. Set the priority and the owner of the task and who the task is going to be assigned to. So again, Andy Kerridge in this case is going to receive an email telling him about this task, and he will be able to log in to the action and then complete this task. We can also select a documented procedure for carrying out the investigation. So I'll just select a test document here, and Andy will be able to see this when he logs in. So the task can be one-off or it can be recurring, and we can set a due date on the task, and this is used to drive the escalations side of things. And you can see the task is now raised, but it has not been started yet. So when Andy logs in, he can come to the task module. He'll see that there are outstanding tasks in here, and he'll see it's assigned to him, and he can start the task, and then he can complete the task. And you can add as many tasks as you need to. Now, the investigation document, once it's completed, can be uploaded in the Documents tab. Just enter a document name, select a document type, and then upload the actual document itself. We can put an expiry date on that and click Add Document. So again, we might have a list of documents here that refer to this particular corrective action and provide all the evidence and audit trail required. We can also define expected outcomes for a particular action. So for example, we might want to improve foreign body control. Just click Add Outcome, and they will all be listed here in the Outcomes tab. We may also, as part of the action, identify management actions that are required, and we can add these actions. Once we've added all the management actions that we require, we can see that there are 2 outstanding management actions here, and we also have 2 outstanding expected outcomes. If we try to close this action now, the system will not allow us to do so because we have pending tasks or management actions. So these management actions must be checked off before we can close the action. So you can see this one has been completed, and now I'll complete the second management action. And again, evidence and documentation can be uploaded into the action in order to prove that these things were done. Once we are ready to close the action, we can go ahead and click Closed. Note that only the owner of the action, in this case James Flynn, can actually close the action fully. The assigned user will only be able to see open and pending closure. Pending closure means an email is sent to the owner of the action so they can review and close the action when they are ready and have checked everything. But since I'm the owner in this particular case, I'm just going to click Closed. It's marked the action as completed and set the date of completion. Click Save, and you'll notice that it's now been set to Closed in the top of the screen here. Notice that expected outcomes may or may not be achieved and are not required to be achieved in order to close the action. Also notice that after the action is closed, nothing in the risk assessments, tasks, documents, expected outcomes, or management actions can be edited. They are now read-only. So that concludes how to raise a corrective action. For information on setting up corrective actions, please see the separate video Setting Up Corrective Actions. Bye for now.